Jimmy Donaldson, known today around the world as MrBeast, was not born with privileges or a professional camera in his hands. His story doesn't begin with fame, money, or connections, but with something far more common: an ordinary teenager in a small town with an obsession very few people understood. Today, he is one of the most influential and wealthiest creators in the digital world. But getting there was a long, lonely journey filled with invisible failures. When Jimmy opened his YouTube channel in 2011, he was only 13 years old and lived in Greenville, North Carolina. He was a shy, introverted kid who didn't particularly stand out at school and spent many hours in front of a computer. Like millions of young people, he decided to upload videos for fun with no clear plan. He played Minecraft, commented on other channels, made rankings of popular YouTubers, and recorded small challenges with friends. Nothing was special. Nothing grabbed attention. The first years were tough. Most of his videos barely reached 10 or 20 views. The quality was low, the sound was bad, and the editing was almost non-existent. For more than 5 years, Jimmy uploaded content consistently without receiving absolutely anything in return. There were no likes, no comments, no growth. For anyone else, that would have been more than enough reason to quit. But Jimmy didn't. The reason was that while others uploaded videos hoping for luck, he was obsessed with understanding YouTube as a science. He didn't see the platform only as a creative space, but as a logical system that could be analyzed and mastered. He spent hours studying statistics, watching viral videos over and over again, analyzing thumbnails, titles, video length, and audience retention. He observed the exact second people stopped watching and asked himself why. Over time, he began to experiment. He changed the editing pace, sped up cuts, repeated ideas, exaggerated reactions, and tested all kinds of formats. Every video was an experiment. Every failure, a lesson. While no one was watching him, he was building something far more important than fame: knowledge. In 2016, after hundreds of ignored videos, he began to notice small changes. He discovered that absurd, repetitive, and extreme content had a better chance of grabbing attention. Reacting to uncomfortable situations, strange clips, or ridiculous moments sparked curiosity. Slowly, views began to rise. Little by little, the channel stopped being dead. When he reached 30,000 subscribers, he didn't see it as a final goal, but as confirmation that his analysis was correct. That same year, he started thinking bigger. He no longer just wanted to grow, he wanted to break YouTube. In 2017, at 19 years old, he made a decision that would change his life forever. He recorded a video counting to 100,000 without cuts. It was pure madness. The recording lasted more than 40 hours, and the final edit ended up being a video almost 24 hours long. Technically, it was a mistake, but conceptually, it was perfect. No one had ever done anything like it before. The video exploded. Millions of people clicked just to see if it was real. Others stayed out of disbelief. That content didn't just go viral, it redefined what was possible on YouTube. Suddenly, Jimmy went from being an unknown creator to someone everyone was talking about. Far from relaxing, he understood the algorithm's message. The more extreme, the bigger the reward. He repeated the formula by counting to 200,000, watching the same video for 10 hours, saying a word thousands of times, or reading the entire dictionary. It was absurd, yes, but it was also authentic. The audience connected with his real effort and total commitment. However, the next big change didn't come from absurdity, but from something much more human. At the end of 2017, With his first major sponsors, Jimmy decided to give $1,000 to a homeless person. The gesture seemed simple, but the emotional impact was huge. The video touched something different. It didn't just entertain, it inspired. That's where the MrBeast the world knows today was born. From that moment on, the giveaways became bigger, more frequent, and more creative. Gifts to strangers, massive donations to small streamers, challenges where the last person to give up won huge sums of money. Everything was designed as a spectacle, but also as a positive experience. By 2018, he had already given away more than $1 million. The audience didn't grow just because of the money, but because of the feeling that something good was happening. MrBeast offered entertainment that changed lives, and that created intense loyalty. Every video was bigger than the last. Every challenge outdid the previous one. In 2019, the channel stopped being just a channel. It became a company. That year, he launched Team Trees alongside Mark Rober, with the goal of planting 20 million trees. The project went global. They raised over $22 million and secured participation from major companies and figures like Elon Musk. MrBeast was no longer just a creator. He was a leader of massive movements. Then came channels in other languages, with professional dubbing, which multiplied his international reach. After that came secondary channels, alternative formats, and finally, one of his riskiest ideas, MrBeast Burger, a virtual restaurant chain that, against all logic, became a commercial success with hundreds of kitchens operating across different countries. In 2021, he broke the internet again by recreating Squid Game with Hollywood-level production. Real sets, hundreds of participants, and a prize of $456,000. The video surpassed 230 million views and confirmed something definitive. MrBeast was no longer competing with YouTubers. He was competing with television. Forbes included him among the highest-paid creators in the world, with annual earnings exceeding $54 million. Behind the scenes, his team already looked like a professional production company, with editors, writers, camera operators, designers, and strategists working full-time. What makes MrBeast unique isn't just the money, it's his resistance to failure, his obsession with improvement, his mastery of the algorithm, and his ability to reinvest absolutely everything into content. He doesn't rely on luck. Every video is a calculated bet. Every project is a long-term strategy. Beyond numbers and records, his story leaves a powerful lesson. On the internet, limits are almost always in the mind. With discipline, patience, and creativity, someone with no resources can build something gigantic from scratch. And the most impressive thing is that this story isn't over yet. With every new project, MrBeast raises the stakes. His legacy is already underway, but the future promises even more madness, innovation, and ambition. Because in the digital age, the most absurd ideas, when executed with obsession and discipline, are the ones that change the world. Subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and share if you also believe in ideas that change the world.